Welcome to Plutus IS. Today I am going to discuss a very important topic, especially for the geography optional. As you know, the mains are approaching, and it's not very far away that you have to write the mains for the people who have cleared their prelims. So it's very important that you focus on certain topics which might come in your geography optional. So one of the question which I probably think is permafrost and chirosphere. Why I have taken this? Because in the prelims also there was a question on thawing also this year. So this is one of the most important topic, and there are high chances that a question on permafrost and chirosphere can come in geography optional. So therefore, I have got a small detailed explanation on both permafrost and chirosphere, so that you should have enough information before going to the mains examination hall. Reason being, the content required for each question is too much. You cannot just rely on the definition and the basic understanding of knowing it. You need to know its impact, you need to know its consequences, you need to know why it is happening, and also the different reports, what they are saying. For example, what UNEP is saying. This time, UNEP report weight of time 2025 has included the another section, an important section on the permafrost and chirosphere, right? So I will be giving the different dimensions of it, that how you can approach the question, but before that you need to have a very basic understanding of it, right? Okay, so starting from the very basic, what is permafrost and how they are different from chirosphere? So permafrost is the ground ice, right? It also consists of sediments, soil, right? Everything is present, and apart from that, they should be frozen for at least 2 years, and the temperature should be 0 degrees Celsius, right? So this is important thing that you have to focus on, that the soils and sediments are present in the permafrost. Apart from that, what are the impact of climate change? So one, I have discussed about permafrost. I'll be discussing about different other impacts of it. For example, I'll be discussing about how climate change has impacted the permafrost, what are the consequences and remedies. So all of that has to be discussed in detail, because when you write the right answer should be wholesome. You cannot just write the definition itself and the climate change is the main reason and then consequences. That's it. No, even the remedies has to be given. That what actions has been taken by different institution, for that matter, any other organization, how they have reacted to it, and what mitigation measures has been taken. So the first thing is, the first line of UNEP report says microorganisms such as fungi, algae and protists have been reactivated from the ancient ice dated to 50,000 years old. With humanity release of greenhouse gas emission over the past 250 years. The first thing that we need to do is permafrost definition. So what is permafrost? Permafrost is any ground that remains completely frozen 0 degree or cooler for at least 2 years. These permanent frozen grounds are most common in regions with high mountains and in Earth's higher latitudes, North and South Pole. So the first thing is that they are maintaining 0 degrees Celsius, having sediments. So ice is also containing what? Sediments, soils. They are mostly in the higher latitudes. And then what else is there? What is the another feature? That they are calculated or analyzed on the basis of their temperature. Now, what can be the probable consequences of the permafrost melting? The very first thing that can happen is, see, your permafrost is what? It is a carbon sink. Whenever you will have any ice cap, any glacier, or for that matter, permafrost. These acts as a very important reservoir of carbon sink. They are doing what? They are not letting the carbon get out of it, right? They act as a carbon sequestration. And on the carbon sequestration, many times the question has been asked in UPSC geography examinations, right? So geography optional, if I talk about, it acts as carbon sequestration. It reduces the carbon emission because it is trapping the carbon in it. Once this permafrost gets melted, what will happen? After melting of that, there will act as not as a carbon sink but as a carbon source. They will act as a carbon source. Further adding to the greenhouse effect, it adds to the greenhouse effect, adding the harmful gases like CH4, nitrates, etc. into the atmosphere, CO2, and it will lead to another what? Increase in the climatic conditions, worsening of the climatic conditions. Now, apart from being a source of carbon sink, it's a carbon sink, but when it's melting, it's becoming carbon source. Apart from that, this is also very important that since permafrost is it's having ice, right? It is frozen. So once it melts, researchers have found that there have been many pathogens who were there inside it, which have not been able to survive because reason being because of the conditions, very cold, severe conditions, cold conditions. Therefore, many viruses, or I would say the pathogens, were dead here. But once the condition changes or they melt, the pathogen starts getting back again. And when the pathogens start getting back again, what will happen? There can be the chances of deadly diseases, or there could be chances of transferring of these viruses from one places to another. Not only that, these viruses would have antimicrobial resistance property. What is this antimicrobial resistance property? That even if you are using a lot of medicines or the traditional or conventional ways of fighting the bacteria, you will use them, that won't work on such pathogens. Reason being, they have adapted themselves, they have evolved in such a way that no present tradition or present remedy can actually work on them. So they have developed the antimicrobial resistance property. These are some of the reasons why permafrost melting is detrimental for the whole planet. Okay. Apart from that, this is a very obvious reason. What is the impact? There would be a climate change because we are still fighting with the climate change, right? That's why we have what? Paris Agreement. We have COPs being taken every year, that we are discussing about the every important matter which needs to be changed in order to curb the climate change condition. Whether you talk about the solar energy, whether you talk about the wind energy, whether you talk about conserving the different marine organism, everything under the sun has to be protected because they have become a carbon source. Apart from that, there are too much of glaciers present, right? Too much of permafrost, not glacier, I would say. Permafrost is present in the northern pole and the southern pole. And with conditions getting worse, you would have seen in Antarctica also there were big continental shelves which were, they were icebergs, big icebergs which were getting melted, right? So this has to be taken great care of, that these carbon melting, people would think there are people who are habitating many regions who are having the permafrost, the regions which are covered, they're having the permafrost, people are also living there. People would think that this is better, they would be able to have, they can travel easily, etc. They do not know one fact, that once these permafrost start melting, they will try bringing in different problems for which even the humans do not have basic remedies present with them, right? Therefore, prevention of it's extremely important, and it will further add to the climate changing conditions. The worsening of the climate change will happen with the permafrost melting. I'll read a UNEP report, a little bit of fact that you can add in it. The other consequences of the permafrost will be that if in case the area gets melted, what will happen? As the ground thaws, what will happen? There will be building roads and pipelines, and airport runway would increasingly get destabilized. Reason being, any area, any infrastructure have been built in keeping the mind different topography of that area. But when the everything will get melt, and what will start happening? These all things which will get collapsed. Apart from that, in areas of poor drainage system, the degradation of permafrost would lead to wet thermokarst conditions. So what is this wet thermokarst condition? Wet thermokarst condition occur when the area, when the soil or any land, it subsides, and what will happen? Water will stay above. So what happens in the thermokarst condition, where the air subsides and ground becomes oversaturated with the water. Now there will be oversaturation of water, and this will not lead to proper stability of the conditions. Now what this thermokarst condition will bring? Thermokarst condition will lead to the oversaturation of water, and what will happen? This will lead to instability in the condition of the area. Next, another thing, the fact that you can add, that in 3 decades the number of days that the Alaska Department of Natural Resources permit oil exploration activity in areas of tundra has been cut to the half due to the extremely soft ground. Because Alaska Department has also figured out, they have also analyzed that there is, the melting is happening, so they have taken a mitigation measures, and in order to cut the consequences, what they have done, they have reduced the number of days for the exploration. So you can add these points in your geography mains question. So when you're writing the permafrost, this is how you have to explain, this is how you have to do structuring, explaining the definition first, then the consequences. We discussed about the microorganism impact, we discussed about the carbon sink would turn into carbon source. Apart from that, what else will happen? There would be destabilization in the infrastructure, up, and the climate change, of course, which will lead to the another addition of the greenhouse gases in the environment, and therefore it's very important the mitigation measures should be taken at a very early stage. Thank you so much. I'll come with another video on an important topic that probably can come in your geography optional mains. Thank you so much.